Salutations everyone, this is Razor giving you guys the rundown of UGC 2016 on the Smash 4 side of things, where Zero continued his dominant reign of terror. But this was quite a competitive tournament, the most stacked tournament that we've had in quite some time. So we have our champion, of course, Zero, and then second place, Abaddon Go, yet again, rocking the Mewtwo, almost setting that bracket reset with the Meta Knight. And after the Mega Man failed in winners finals. And then you had ESam, the surprise of the tourney, but not so much of a surprise if you saw him in pools or top 32, top 16. You knew he was going to do something special the way he was playing. Fourth place, you got your boy Nairo with that Zero suit, but when that didn't work, the Bowser just up aired all the people. Then in fifth place, we have Mr.E there with the Marth again, and Void with the Sheik. Seventh place, Captain Zack. I think he's going to be a player that we're going to continue to see in top 8s and top 16s going forward, along with Salem, when it comes to those Bayonetta mains, of which there are many, and they are all making a lot of noise. And then also in 7th, rounding out top 8, we have Larry Lur there with the Fox, and of course some others when that wasn't working out. Before we even get into top 8 or even top 16, there were a lot of upsets and pools, a lot of action going on. Kamemushi was there, and he was eliminated by Mr.E and Ally. You got Anti going down early to Abaddon Go and Larry. I believe Ally lost in pools, so he was sent to losers early. I want to say the same happened to Salem, and I think possibly Leo as well. Kamemushi eliminated Salem 3-2. Larry Lur eliminated Zenodo 3-2. Dark Shad eliminated Leo 3-1. Nairo eliminated Ally 3-1 before top 8 started. And Larry eliminated Mr.E 3-2. So once we start into top 8, we have a very interesting matchup of a Bayonetta versus a Zero Suit Samus. Captain Zack versus Nairo. Captain Zack, I think, is going to be one of those staples that we start seeing in these tournaments, along with Saj, but more so it's like Salem when it comes to the results that he gets, because he's been getting top 8s the past couple of months, more so than other Bayonettas out there not named Salem. So this is the first meeting in tournament, but Nairo already seemed to have the book on Captain Zack. Must have had it on pre-order. Real quick, game 1. Nairo just read that first chapter real quick, got the 2 stock. Next chapter, Captain Zack turns the page on him, pulling out the Witch Time, best move in the game, to even the stocks, and then once again to take the lead. Too much for Nairo to come back from, and Captain Zack evens it up at 1 game apiece. Quite the response. Now, I think the key to this matchup for Nairo against Bayonetta is no wasted movement, of which he didn't have much in the first game. You can't give Bayonetta good positioning. You gotta keep her on the defensive as much as possible, because once Bayo has neutral, it can be all she needs with the amazing options that she has. You can't miss a boost kick and prevent all possible Witch Time opportunities. Now, Nairo was landing the boost kicks. They were immaculate, actually. His back airs were perfect. He did get into a lot of Witch Times, losing 2 stocks off of them, and then losing the lead twice as well after having the percentage in his favor. But Nairo did what he needed to do, kept the juggles up in the aerial game, making it difficult for Bayonetta to land where she can start her combo game. And Nairo just kept it up with the up airs, back airs off stage, boost kicks off the top, you know, the Nairo special. So Nairo wins this one 3-1. Then we have Larry Lur versus Void, one of the most exciting matches that you just see all the time. The all-time between these two was 17-17. Competitive much? So here we have the rubber match, game number 35. And Larry, having just eliminated Mr.E, warmed up in this matchup and now has to go against the other great Sheik main. So game 1 on Lilat, Larry got out to a good lead. Void brought it back in quick fashion to take game 1. Anytime Void brought the game to the ledge, he just really started to do real quick work with some of those options, catching so many recoveries with up tilt, using aerial needles for coverage on the offensive and on the defensive. It was absolutely amazing what he was able to do with some of those needles, both retreating and advancing on Larry off stage. So Larry, with all the knowledge in this matchup, knows usually the first and second options that Void will be going for at high percents. So Void had to keep it at the ledge and get bouncing fishes, and the fishes were just bouncing all over the place, and he got up to a 2-0 lead where Larry had a lot of homework to do, but he did it. Also picked up some extra credit while he was at it. Larry was dominant in games 3 and 4, making quick work of Sheik, chasing with up airs, hitting those back airs that he didn't have a lot of opportunities for in the first 2 games, which I think is key for Mr. R to keep those leads and prevent the comeback, is for Larry to, not get those back air opportunities and then start chasing at the ledge. Larry had the room to start doing work and dragged Void down with the fair, no footstool needed. Now I know Smashville is Sheikville, so it might be her best stage in this matchup, possibly. I'm not too sure based off the results that we've seen, these guys playing 35 times. But I definitely feel like Smashville is Fox's best stage in the matchup. It gives him more room than the tri-platforms or Lilat, which I think makes his horizontal game with the illusions and the dash attacks better, and his up tilts linking into up airs with less landing options for Void. So game 5, Void was the one who was dominant. After Larry brought it back, Void just took charge game 5, taking the first talk real quick off stage with the fairs, bouncing fish, catching that air dodge, and then Void drags Larry down to the stage with the up air into down smash to finish up the 2-stock. We tech those. Void wins it 3-2. Then we have Mr.E versus Zero, one of the few matchups that gives Zero some trouble against Mr.E, and we saw why in game 1. Mr.E was aggressive, and Zero didn't slow the game down enough, and on Town and City, Marth has some safer options with those 3 platforms to help him land and not get punished. One tipper later, Mr.E takes the first game over the early lead in the set. Game 2, Zero slowed the game down, knowing full well that a more patient game in Diddy's neutral is theoretically untouchable once you have a banana in hand. All he needs is Marth at the ledge or off stage, put in banana at ledge, and cover every option to keep Marth out there. Mr.E was countering to no avail, way too much, air dodges never helping against Diddy. Evened up at 1 game apiece after Zero takes that one. Then game 3, Mr.E starts to play a bit more defensively. More fade back airs and fast falling fairs through the platform, past the banana at the ledge, really one of the safer options that he had, but at the same time still risky because Diddy has an option for everything. So this allowed Zero to turn up the aggression dial a little bit, kept Mr.E to the ledge time and time again. Of course, the X factor in those situations, always giving Diddy the edge at high percents. If you avoid the banana, the grab, the fair, and the bear, Diddy gives you the up tilt and you die. So safe for Diddy, every single option covered by Marth, can't do anything at the ledge. Zero wins it 3-1. Then we have ESam versus Abaddon Go. Now, if you were watching pools, top 32, top 16, anywhere in this tournament, there was one player that had to make you raise your eyebrow thinking, wait, is this dude gonna annihilate everybody? And that man was ESam. From the get-go, ESam showed that he has a scary electric mouse for you to go up against. So we got a good old-fashioned Pokemon battle. These two veterans are only 1-1 going into this one, but hadn't fought since AbaddonGo picked up Mewtwo, so it's literally a different game now. AbaddonGo gets out to quite the big lead there in game 1. Pikachu's main weakness, many would say, is his inability to kill. Almost no confirms, back throw not exactly amazing, but as we saw throughout the tournament, ESam was covering every miss with a Nair. Start damage with the up tilts, giving nobody any chance to kill Pikachu off stage with the quick attack and even going under the stage, sometimes to reset neutral. Quick attacking got him into a lot of grabs, actually, where he was mixing up 1-hit quick attacks and 2-hit quick attacks to keep his opponents guessing. and quick attack into a lot of grabs, which is, I think, very new in the capacity that he was throwing those out. Now, Mewtwo is a very, very light character, so that helps the little mouse, but Mewtwo has so many options that turn into confirms. ESam needed to be careful, like he was trying to take the cheese off the mousetrap without it snapping. ESam was doing a great job on those quick attacks on stage, ledge canceling into jabs and grabs, mostly forward throw, off stage or back throw off the stage. He did such a great job at reading the Shadow Ball, almost not making it a factor in the early games of just perfect shielding them time and time again. Pikachu using his agility because he's hard to hit. ESam hops on the comeback train in Game 1, squeaks out the win with some incredible combinations. Game 2, ESam keeps the momentum, more pressure, even on missed aerials. He had that twirling back air forward seeing more defensive options both at the ledge and on stage. ESam finishing off with a DI mix-up on the down throw Thunder. Now after the 2-0 lead, it quickly becomes the Abaddon Go show. Pokemon Stadium ain't legal, but we have a good old Pokken Championship going on. Abaddon Go starts going to work. ESam would usually miss on his first option, giving Abaddon Go a lot of opportunities to turn things into a lot of damage, and that's what he did. He didn't get as many fares near the ledge as he may be accustomed to because of Pikachu's ability to recover very quickly and very well. He kept things on stage with the down tilts, up tilts, snare into aerial chases, and grabs. ESam started to allow a lot of free damage with that Shadow Ball, uncharged or even only slightly charged. That the damage started to stack up, and Abaddon Go connected just to do incredible amounts of damage. Limiting Pikachu's aerial follow-ups and securing stocks at lower percents got the disable into up smash, and we have a Game 5. And in Game 5, Abaddon Go showed that Mewtwo has the highest CP in the game for a reason, and Pikachu should stick to fighting Vaporeons. It was all Abaddon Go in Game 1, didn't let ESam start much of anything, and they threw Pikachu to the sky for the reverse 3-0. Then we have Mr.E versus Nairo. Now this was a tale of two sets. The first set, Mr.E was absolutely dominating Nairo, applying just continual pressure. Nairo had not really much of anything going on. Mr.E's timing, a lot of his aerials were just real quick, and Nairo had a hard time resetting neutral after pretty much every single engagement. So down 2-0, Nairo elects to go back to Bowser that he used back earlier in the tournament to 3-0 Zenoto's Diddy. And what a change it was. Nairo's Bowser doesn't kidnap princesses, he kidnaps hero kings. Up throw, up air anybody, he's got him, he's giving him out. Nairo was straight up Donald Trumping the way he was grabbing Mr.E without his consent. Up throw Nair for damage, up throw back air to get Marth off stage or even sometimes killing, and then up throw up air like it's more guaranteed than your money back if you aren't satisfied with your Koopa. He honestly got all the grabs he wanted, and that's all there was to it. Koopa King beats Hero King, another reverse 3-0. And then we have ESam versus Void, issue number 2. ESam was the one who sent Void to losers 3-2, looking for that double elimination. Not going to be an easy task, and it was a very, very competitive set, going pretty much down there to the wire, back and forth. Momentum was shifting all over the gaff. ESam had a lot of jab block combos, both racking up damage and getting the jab block forward smash to take Game 2. And then he had a murder suicide for Game 3 for basically a 2-stock. But then in Game 4, Void 2 stocks him right back. So then of course we once again have a Game 5 where ESam is able to pull it out, just doing such a great job at covering aerial options with the nairs, with the up airs, with the twirling back airs. Just something that not a lot of Sheiks are used to having to combat is their almost inability against Pikachu in this matchup to get back to the stage safely, to reset neutral, to have time to charge needles. ESam, it's not like he had an answer to everything. He just threw so many answers out there so quickly that at least one of them would stick in order for him to gain the momentum back and seal the victory on the double elimination of Void. ESam takes it 3-2. And then winners finals, we have Zero versus Abaddon Go. Abaddon Go still without even a game on Zero, let alone a set win at this point. He elects to go for the Mega Man just like he did in the last matchup, but just like last time, it was to no avail. Zero walling him out with all the aerials and all the potassium. Now we know that Mega Man's pellets do wonders against the banana, as we saw with Kamemushi at Evo, but Zero just had an answer. No fuss, just kept Abaddon Go off stage, wouldn't let him back. Much like against Mr.E, that's pretty much what the match boiled down to. Get him off stage, and then just be Diddy Kong. Down 2-0, knowing full well that Mega Man isn't the answer against Zero. After getting all that data, Abaddon Go elects to go back to Mewtwo, and things get a little interesting. Zero still leading the way, but Abaddon Go utilizing the teleport ledge canceling on the platforms, able to survive a bit longer, therefore chip on some more damage to the point where Abaddon Go had the percentage lead on the final stock, just needing a grab to seal it with the up throw. But Diddy, having more kill options than any other character, found one that stuck. Side B, taking care of Mr. Lightweight Mewtwo. Zero takes winners 3-0. And then we have ESam versus Nairo and losers semis. Now both players here, looking to get the run back on Abaddon Go, decide to put on a show for the crowd here at losers semis early on. They kept trading trademark flashy kills on each other back and forth. Nairo taking game 1 off his signature grab to up air. Up B confirms, needing to get the grabs to win this matchup against the quick Pikachu. Game 2 and 3, ESam gets a lot of damage off of jab blocks, like a lot, and punishes with the up smashes, but most importantly, going after Zero Suit's recovery, focusing on attacking the tether grab with Thunder Shocks, Nairs, and Fairs, and her up B just can't get her back. ESam taking stocks at any percent if he gets her off that tether, and he was able to just keep exploiting that weakness, and ESam takes it 3-1. So then in losers finals, we have the rematch, ESam versus Abaddon Go. Game 1, Abaddon Go kills ESam like instantly, and that was it. ESam admits defeat, throw that first game away, let's go back at it. Then he makes the character switch to Mewtwo of all characters, so it's blue version versus yellow version. You know, Abaddon Go has a pretty good experience in the Mewtwo Ditto, but ESam looked like he started to have some things going, got off to a pretty early lead. On the second stock, after Abaddon Go took the first stock with a Nair to disable up smash, ESam takes it back, even takes the lead, but then the lead just starts to disappear. They're both at kill percent, and Abaddon Go takes the game. So game 3, ESam goes to the crowd for his next counter pick, and he pulls a page out of Nairo's book and starts to go with the Bowser. Now starting off, ESam immediately shatters Abaddon Go's shield, but it was too early for that fully charged forward smash to kill, even at the top platform with the forward smash. Abaddon Go takes the first stock, but ESam answers back with an up throw up air, but Mewtwo just has too much for Bowser in the offstage game, and Abaddon Go takes it 3-0. And that brings us to grand finals, where Zero was taken on Abaddon Go once again. Now still without a game on Zero at this point, Abaddon Go needs 6 to take the tournament away from him. Game 1, more the same for winners finals. Nothing Abaddon Go's Mewtwo can do against the Great Wall of Zero. So game 2, Abaddon Go needs to make a chain, and he decides to go for the Meta Knight. Why not, right? Takes the first stock with the patented up air into shuttle loop. Abaddon Go holds a solid percentage lead, and with Meta Knight's movement and safe down air approaches, holds off Zero from staging a quick comeback, and Abaddon Go takes his first ever game off of Zero. Game 3, Zero didn't really make any adjustments, just picked his moments, kept the attack on Abaddon Go, and really didn't allow any openings on his counter pick, and takes it without much trouble. Game 3, Abaddon Go starts off strong, extends a little bit, but is barely punished on only a couple of opportunities. Zero makes it really difficult for Abba to go after him off stage. Even when he up Bs where Diddy's vulnerable, I don't know if there's something Abaddon Go can do to lab in that matchup, because, I mean, nobody's really been able to exploit that with any consistency, so maybe it's not as terrible as some people say in many instances. We've even seen, Barrels get the stage spike in that case. So Abaddon Go, however, does seal the victory in Game 4, forcing a possible reset. Zero's movement was the key factor in Game 5, being able to shield with Banana and backing away with the threat of Monkey Flip, keeping AbaddonGo from approaching with a dash attack that would have sealed the deal with the bracket reset on the dash attack into the shuttle loop. AbaddonGo even managed to DI out of Diddy's up smash to survive a bit longer to see if there was an opening to take Zero off the top, but Zero wasn't having it. Too many throws and back airs, tossing AbaddonGo to the blast zone again, winning the tournament on winner's side, 3-2 in grand finals. Certainly closer than anyone imagined, looking poised to take it to a reset did AbaddonGo, but Zero continues his reign of terror, this being the closest he's been to losing in a while, but still coming through on winners, no bracket reset threat of loss in a second set, not even entertaining the opportunity of making it too competitive because he is the best in the world and he's on track to continue the streak to another lengthy period of time.